Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here, and I'm going to show you exactly my thoughts on the market since the start of this uptrend. What we had over here is your wave 1, come down for a wave 2. You have your third wave to the upside, and then you go into a Elliott wave flat pattern. So you have your A wave, B wave, and then your C wave down. And your B wave takes out the highs of the bottom of your A wave, and your C wave takes out the lows of the bottom of the top of your A wave. Okay, so usually with a flat pattern, you have a 3-wave move down, a 3-wave move up, and then a 5-wave move to the downside, taking out these lows over here. Okay, so our wave 4 came down to our 100-day SMA. And notice that anytime we came down to the SMA or came down 100-day SMA or came down just a little bit below it, or even had the price reclaim support above it, we went on a very nice run, or you could say a move to the upside. After having this wave 4 hit our 100 period moving average, we had a very explosive wave 5 to the upside. And before this uptrend started, we had what's called Wyckoff accumulation, and that Wyckoff accumulation prompted the price all the way up here. Once price got up here, we then went into what's called a Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. And we went into this Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic for over 150 days. After finishing up with that correction, we reclaimed the 21-day, 50-day, and 100-day SMA. Once we reclaimed that, we had our wave 2, back testing it as support. Then we had a very explosive wave 3 to the upside, hitting our 702 on the logarithmic scale, or our 61.8% fib on the linear scale. Now, there is a very big possibility that, considering we came back down to back test this 100-day SMA, there's a possibility we come up for a wave 5 towards our 70.2% fib on the logarithmic scale before we see that breakdown. Okay, so let's take a look at some more examples over here. Okay, so let's take a look at this one over here. Okay, so check out this cool indicator that I have. Anytime it was above the upper band over here, okay, so anytime it was above this upper band on the 5-day time frame, you can see that price had a significant breakdown. Okay, you would normally want to look. So you see how it has 2 X's over here. You would normally want to wait for 2 to pop up on the upper band or above it. So over here we had, it showed that we were bearish. We came down and formed a divergence, came up one more time, and then you had your second X, okay, above this upper band. Okay, anytime we were above this upper band, we had a significant breakdown. And we were above it over here. Before we went into a 150-day consolidation, we ended up forming classy bullish divergence. So you form lower lows on the RSI and equal lows on the price. We then had a continuation to the upside, and now we're actually back on this upper band. Okay, so we have the indicators flashing red. The indicators are saying we are overheated in the market. So now there's a possibility that this is your wave 5 right here, right? We come down, we had our A wave, we're coming up for our B wave, and then we're going to have a C wave to the downside. Or this is your A wave, this is your B wave, and then this is your C wave, and then we have a move to the downside like that. Okay, so let's take a look at some more examples over here. So I just wanted to show you in this chart that we did hit key resistance, which is the 70.2% fib. We had no weekly closure above it. However, we do see bulls picking up steam here on the 100-day SMA. So there is a possibility that they drive the price up one more time before taking it down. Remember that the market maker wants to get the most money they can out of this as possible. Remember that. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Okay, so we're currently above all the 4-hour EMAs after having 5 waves to the downside, and we are approaching the equilibrium. So as long as price maintains support above the 4-hourly EMAs, then we're good for more upside. Okay. Okay, then we have this chart over here. So over here, this is either a B, C correction, okay, or this is a 5-wave move to the downside. Regardless of what it is, we see that we have tapped the 100-day SMA off the 702, and now we're seeing a move to the upside. Okay, we've also gotten back above the 21-day SMA, so bulls are in control. Okay, now if we do see a move to the downside, then bulls do not want to see a move below the 50% and the 61.8% fib right over here. Okay, we're also above the median. Okay, so we are above the median in relation to the top of the correction down to the bottom. So it looks like bulls are in control over here. Now, here is what I'm thinking. So we either have an A, so I'll show you over here. So this is your A, B, C correction. And if price gets over the 78.6% fib, then it's likely going to breach this 49K high. Okay, as soon as you get above this 78.6% fib, then it's most likely that price is going to breach 49K and probably do this scenario right over here that I showed you, where we have that one more high and then we form a divergence on the indicators. Okay, so you have a higher high and then the indicators would show a lower high, just like we had in 2021. Okay, so if we zoom in over here, we see that, let me show you here. Okay, so back in 2021, this over here was your high. We went down, came up one more time, and then we had our drop. Over here, this was your high, came down one more time, went up, took out these highs, and then we had our drop. Okay, so there always is a possibility we have one more high before they drive the price back down. Over here on the daily time frame, it is looking very strong, having a daily bullish pin bar right off the 100-period moving average, and then piercing above the 21 and 50-day SMA, above the median over here, which is this blue box. Okay, let's take a look at some more charts over here. Okay, so as you can see, we have hit the 61.8% fib on the linear scale. And then on the weekly time frame, we've had no closure above the 702. We were actually teasing the 702. Bulls were teasing the 702, having multiple weekly candle closures just below it. And then on the day of the ETF news, we actually wicked up right to the 78.6% fib, or the 61.8% fib on the linear scale, and then we had this breakdown towards the 100-period moving average. Now that bulls have reclaimed support above the 21 and 50-day SMA, we can say that we have a shot at a local bottom here. Now, within this uptrend that I see a move up to the fibs. Watch how price reacts here, because we could have a continuation to the downside, or if you get above the 78.6% fib, then it's likely we come up one more time to the 702 on the linear scale and then see that breakdown. Okay, just like 2021 where we had our high over here, had our sharp move to the downside, and then we had one more high above this local high before we saw that capitulation. Okay, getting above 52,565 will change up the whole entire wave count. Okay, so this over here would be your third wave then. Then we would come down for our fourth and then continue our way up, continue our move to the upside. But so far, as long as we're below key resistance, then I remain bearish on Bitcoin and bullish on altcoins. Okay, so I do think it's going to do something like 2017 where a lot of the smart money shifts into altcoins. And what we actually see here on this chart is a 5-wave move to the downside. Okay, we see a 5-wave move to the downside. And now we're seeing our corrective moves up. So we're going to have our 5th wave here, our 5th subwave. So this is your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to come down for a B wave, and then you're going to have a C wave. Now, within this C wave, if we go above this level over here, the 78.6% fib, then it's very likely that we're going to breach 49,000. Okay, so what I'm seeing is either we have an A, B, C correction up to any of these fibs before seeing a breakdown, or we have a wave, 5 waves up to make an A wave, come down for a B wave to the retracements, and then have a C wave above 49K. Okay. We also see a inverted head and shoulders pattern, prices above the median, and the 50-day SMA. Hope you guys enjoyed the Bitcoin video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.